Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council, and what you've just been enjoying was just a taste of what you'll get to enjoy when you come to the next Artful Palette. This is David Smith, and this talented guitarist here that is one of the several entertainment pieces that we will have that evening. It's August the 22nd, not very far away. A beautiful Friday night at the Harvest House. If you've not been in the Harvest House, you have not seen what we really are talking about. But the Harvest House is kind of modest outside, but inside it is really nice, and you just got to come check it out. We are going to fill your evening with performances such as the one David just gave you a taste of. We'll have several other performances. We'll have a wonderful hors d'oeuvres and tasty beverages, and then we will also have a silent auction and a raffle and absolutely wonderful company. And you are encouraged to dress artfully, or you can dress up, whatever suits you, to this event. So David, let's talk about you and your music. Okay. The event, I'm calling it a delightful smorgasbord of the arts. So that means that there's going to be a lot of variety. We have everything from a fiddler to swing dancers to your classical guitar and other things. That was a classical piece that you played a while ago.
It was the 20th century, so contemporary.
It's a very unusual piece. Talk about that.
Well, it's a mixture of Brazilian folk music a little bit,
Uh-huh.
as well as 20th century classical composition styles. So there's the composer, his name is Hector Villa-Lobos, and he is a native of Brazil, lived in Brazil, grew up in Brazil, and studied music in Brazil. So he became familiar with the works of like Beethoven and Bach, especially Bach when he was a child. I think it was his aunt gave him the Well-Tempered Clavier, which is one of his well-known works.
Right.
He studied that, and he became influenced by Bach. He became influenced by the viola and the cello, which he stuck with. He stuck with the cello. He tried to be a cellist.
You told me he was a cellist.
He was a cellist.
And you kind of hear that in the piece. There's a hint of that. You know?
That melody in that piece is supposed to kind of evoke a cello, I believe.
It's his version of a cello on a guitar.
Yeah, exactly. And as a matter of fact, he wasn't really a guitarist. He could play guitar a little bit, but the pieces that he wrote were too difficult for him. Rumor has it he wrote music that that was at a level above his playing ability, his own playing ability.
So he could envision someone playing it.
Surely he could hear it, because he's written over 2,000 pieces.
That's pretty fascinating. I don't think I've ever known of a composer that couldn't play the piece he composed.
Well, we don't have it on record. We don't have a record of him attempting to play it and failing. I don't think I'm aware of, but that is what they say, that he just wrote a level above his ability.
How interesting. Now, do you know of other composers like that?
Actually, off the top of my head, I don't.
It's kind of unusual.
Really.
Yeah.
I think it probably is. I mean, a lot of composers wrote music for maybe not their main instruments.
Right. Right, and you think about an orchestral piece, and whether they've got, surely they don't play all those instruments.
Well, yeah, exactly. So in that sense, there were probably some stuff by other composers that
but this was specifically for guitar.
Specifically for guitar, because he met Andres Segovia in the 1920s, I believe, maybe early 20s, and so by the 1930s and on, he was composing music for Andres Segovia.
How interesting. Well, David, by the way, sounds very knowledgeable, because his specialty is the guitar, but he's also, aren't you a music theorist or music, your degree was in music?
Yeah, in music performance. I have a very deep interest in music theory, but I haven't actually been degreed in it yet. Yeah, I probably will.
David is teaching. One reason I know David is because that when we first opened Blue Ridge Art Space, actually, is about the time I met David, and he came in wanting to teach guitar, and we hooked you up with the community music school.
Yes.
And you've been teaching through them. And this summer you taught a crash course.
Yep, a guitar crash course. That's right.
And that was like 2 intense weeks of of everyday lessons, and you kind of killed off one of your students. Now he got busy and had some things happen in his life and wasn't able to finish, but it was a really cool course.
It was.
And you're going to kind of teach more of those kinds of things?
I think so. Yeah, I'd like to do it again, maybe late August.
Right.
All for the same thing. This time it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
For 2 weeks probably. I'm thinking that might spread it out just a little bit.
Give you a little time to practice between classes.
Instead of one lesson per week, every week.
Right.
It's just a slightly different approach. Let's just see what we can get out of a person in 2 weeks.
Right?
To get them, to give them a boost of confidence maybe, and to get them understanding what they're going to learn if they take lessons.
Right. And then the idea is that if they choose to, they can elect to take lessons on a long-term basis, but they don't have to.
They don't have to.
So,
and it's a little less expensive than taking lessons over a whole semester.
Right.
Just take the course and find out if it's for you.
That's a really good point. You get started in it.
Yes.
So we'll be registering those classes very shortly, and so watch for a fall series of workshops to come out, not in the very distant future at all, where we're pulling that information together as we speak, and you will be able to see it soon. Now, if you have a real interest in the Artful Palette, and I sure hope you do, because it is an event that was taking place I became the director of the Arts Council in 1992, and it was at least a couple of years old at that point. And they did the event for several years, and then took a hiatus. And for the Arts Council's 25th anniversary, I invited former board members of the Arts Council who had been people that had put on the Artful Palette in the past to put it back on again as a tribute to the Arts Council's 25 years. And I had this huge team of folks that came and helped. And everybody had such a great time. We've just kind of kept it going. So this is the first time at the Harvest House in Boone. Last year we did it at the Green Park Inn in Blowing Rock, and before that we have done it at Rosen Concert Hall, at the Hayes Performing Arts Center when it existed, and a variety of locations. But this is going to be a slightly different twist on it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I actually think it's an ideal environment for it. Mm-hmm. And so you've played at the Harvest House before, I think you told me.
No, I actually haven't played,
you
but
haven't?
I have.
Okay.
But I have seen people perform there,
Okay, so
and speakers,
yeah.
and it's a very nice location.
It is.
A good sized stage, great sound system.
They have wonderful sound equipment. You know, all that you can dream of. And the capacity to do lighting in different ways and so forth. They also have a large room that seats quite a few people, and so therefore we can have all of the event in one location, which is really neat. Now, if you want to come to this event, if you hurry before August the 7th, you can get your ticket for $10 off. That's a $65 ticket, and if you wait, it's going to be $75. Now, this is, you might say, well, is that a little pricey? Well, that is a fundraiser. The point of this event is to raise money to further the arts in Watauga County, to do all the really wonderful things that we do all across the community all year long. And it is an annual event that helps to support the arts and making the arts a presence in our community, as is the Arts Council's slogan.
We need their support.
We definitely do.
Yes.
And not just this event.
No.
We need your support in all different ways. We all benefit from the presence of the arts in our community. And sometimes I don't even think we recognize that we're benefiting from it. And then we also sometimes take it a little bit for granted. So this is an opportunity to kind of celebrate that and to make it, something special and to really, And I had David dress up a little bit because this event is a little bit above your average barbecue kind of an event where you go in your blue jeans. This is one that you can choose to dress up as fine as David's dressed today, or you can choose to wear something that's a little bit toned down from that, or you can even dress artfully. We would love to see you dress artfully and see what you interpret that term to mean in terms of attire. So it'll be really cool, but you definitely snazzed up the set here, David.
I'm glad I did. I don't have too many occasions where I have to dress like this.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me you wear it at least once a week.
If only.
If only. Well, when you want to come and see David in his tux again, this is a great opportunity. Again, the date is August the 22nd. It is a Friday night, and it's a wonderful, wonderful way to celebrate the arts in Watauga County. We hope you'll be part of it. Check our website. You can even purchase your tickets there, watauga-arts.org, for this and a lot more.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.